Our first speaker, Santiago Arana from the agency. How many of you have seen Santiago before? How many have not seen Santiago? Okay, great. How many people from the agency here today? What I love about Santiago is he came here a little over 12 years ago, not speaking the language, no money, just a dream, ambition, whatever, desire. And here we are, 12 plus years later, last year, over 300 million in closed sales volume. And what's even more impressive about that is it's Santiago and his assistant. It's not a big team. It's not 10 agents, 5 assistants. 1 agent, 1 assistant, over 300 million in closed sales volume. This year, he's at 180 million. The goal is 500 million. How's that sound? The other day, I was coaching with him, and he's going, man, do I need to adjust the goal? I don't think I'm going to hit 500 million this year. And I said, no! That is the goal. And whether we get there this year, next year, I don't care when we get there, that's the goal. We don't adjust the goal down, we keep the goal. What do we adjust? Effort up. We don't change our goal just because it's not happening in the moment. We've got to hold on to that. How many of you could have a goal of 500 million in closed sales volume in 1 year? Couple alligator arms in the room. Well, let me bring out the $500 million man, Santiago. Come on now, we're not going to be able to do the music, but you got it.
Is this on?
You're on.
Whew, I almost didn't make it, sorry. Well, before I speak and before I start talking about it, I just wanted to tell you thank you for coming. And I want to bring awareness that you're here because you want to make a change, because you want something different. It's not Steve, it's not me, it's not Robert, there's no anyone who's going to talk after. So first, is everybody awake? Yes? Is everybody present? Yes. Now, what I like to ask the question that everybody's present, because a lot of people are here and their mind are somewhere else. I'm one of them, all the time. And it's ultra important to be present because at that moment, all you need to do is talk about with that person, that objective that you have in that moment, cover that, and then you go to the next one. And when a lot of people make a mistake is like, they're talking to someone, they're speaking about something, and they start thinking about something else, and they're not putting 100% of what they're doing. So you probably many heard about one step at a time, you know? All you need is to see the next step, to go to the next one, to go to the next one, to go to the next one. Sometimes people get desperate. Again, me, one of them, I'm human, I make all those mistakes all the time, but you don't need to see the final destination because you don't really know what it's gonna be. You need to have a goal, you need to know that you can achieve it. Like Steve says, it's not about, yes, maybe I'll do that. No, maybe it's not a choice. You need to have strong focus on what you're gonna do, and that's it. There's no time from plan B because it distracts you from plan A. And you probably heard that too before, and I love to say that because it's so true, you know. When I moved here and I was working at the restaurant and I was thinking about it, what I'm doing with my time. I mean, I need to really use my time more efficiently. I'm working in this restaurant, I'm making $80 a day. I could be working in that restaurant, I could be making $120 a day. Yeah, maybe I should go and get a job there. And my wife, who is here right now, and she's always been watching that, and see the progress where I went from working in Café Bisou to L'Orangerie, which at the time was the best restaurant in LA. And it got to the point where it's like, okay, this is not definitely where I want to end. And I started opening my eyes to see people that will come and sit down and have a dinner once a week and spend 20 grand. I'll be like, well, that's great. I want to be one of them, once a week. So then you start learning that there's a lot of abundance out there. And the problem with people is like they really focus on what they don't have. And we wake up every morning and we think about all our issues. It's like, okay, well, I wish I had that, or I don't have that. And they forget about it. What you have? Start from there, because the power starts within you, okay? We all have that inside us. Some of us have the ability to find out that sooner than later, but I think in this new age, with all the great speakers that are out there, technology and everything, people understand easily that there is something bigger. There is a power within you that you can create things. You can create your own life. You can really work on a goal. And when you work on a goal, I think it's not just about how much money we want to make. Yes, we talk about the 500 million goal. That's great. We talk about whatever your goal is, or how much money you want to make, or however you break it down. But I think that if you switch that a little bit, it helps if you say, what are you giving in exchange to that? Because I think when you give is when you get more. And if you focus on what I can give to my clients, us in the real estate industry, why are they hiring me? What's the value? Someone asked me the other day, why am I going to hire you? What's the value here? So you really need to understand what value you bring. Not everybody has the same personality. Not everybody brings the same. You focus on what's that value? What can I do for you? And you need to feel good about it, okay? No, don't go into a listing and be like, thank you for giving me your listing. I'm so lucky I'm going to sell this house and I'll make 200 grand. No, they need you. They need your expertise. They need your time. They need your negotiation skills. So in this business, what is important is, number one, the obvious, right? The fact that you're sitting here listening to a crazy Bolivian with an accent. And I want to make a disclaimer because sometimes I say things, and I don't mean to offend anyone. I don't mean to have any religious, side. I'm just going to say things, and if it resonates with you, that's great. And if it doesn't, just take what you think's okay, and don't take the ones that you think is bullshit, okay? So what has really worked for me is starting from inside, or what I do every day. And I was talking to a friend of mine in the office yesterday, and we were making fun a little bit. He's here too. His name is Danny Brown. And he was saying, I want to hear the secret, those secrets that we all waiting to hear, the great secret, how you do this, And he goes, the secret that you wake up every morning really early and you work really, really, really hard, and then you go late to bed because you've been working all day really hard, and you wake up the next day and you do the same. And it comes down to that. But you need to know your market. You need to know what's out there. If you are going in caravan on Tuesdays at 11:15, 11:30, you're doing it wrong, because there's so many houses you're going to be able to see in those 3 hours. So if you leave at 11:15, you're going to make it probably to the first house by 11:30. You lost half an hour. By the time you get there and you look a few houses and you're going to go inside and start chitty-chatting with everybody that is in there, it's great to see you guys. I love to see you guys. Sometimes people say that I'm too serious when I'm doing business or whatever, but the goal is to see more houses, because you never know when you get a call from someone and you're sitting on a table and he says, by the way, do you know the house around the corner? And either you pretend that you know it, or you saw it coming in the MLS, or you actually seen the house. And when you've seen the house, then you can talk with more property. You can say, yes, I've seen the house, the master bedroom is not good, the closet's small, whatever it is, but then they see value on that. They see that you are a knowledgeable agent. So you cannot pretend to be successful in this business if you don't understand the market, number one. Two, I'm assuming that everybody here knows how to write a contract, right? You need to understand the contract. What does this mean? What does that mean? What's liquidated damages? There's so many things that you need to know because you need to protect your client. It's not just you're a great salesperson, you're going to do a great ad, and you're going to put the best ad out there and your sign, and you're going to have an open house with a cocktail party, and everything is beautiful. Are you really, really protecting your clients? Are you really looking for their best interest? The day that you start doing that, you're going to feel better because you know you're doing 100%. You know you're doing your best. And people feels that. People notices that. And people want to do business with people like that. So one of the most important things for me, and I think I've said this before, I don't remember if it was here, it was in New York with the Inman Connect, but one of the things that I do is a morning ritual, okay? And there is actually an interesting website that I found out recently called morningritual.com. And no, seriously. I haven't really investigated into it, but I found a couple interesting things there. There's a guy that since he was 17 is starting to study people like Steve Jobs, all these successful people, Barack Obama, and so on and so forth. And he studies and sees what do these people have in common. And we can go back in time. We can go back to Thomas Edison. We can go back to the times of, all these great inventors happened to be at the same time, right? Edison, Henry Ford, they all were buddies, and they all have these genius ideas, And why do you think they were friends? And what do you think happened at the same time? Because they were getting together with people that think alike, okay? You don't want to be sitting and chatting with a person that doesn't want to sell 500 million. You want to be talking with the people that want to sell the 300 million. So they all empower each other. They all exchange ideas. They all are always looking into what's next, okay? And by doing that, you raise, your level too. If you are in a place where you are already the number one, then you need to go in a different pond because you won't grow, You always need to be challenged. And challenge is what has made us great. There's a book that I read a long time ago. It's called The Science of Getting Rich. It's a very old book written in the late 1800s, and the author is Wallace D. Wattles. I don't know if anyone knows about it. But in one of the chapters, it talks about the law of contrast, okay? And what does that law say? It says that everything in life has a contrast. For every single good thing that happens, something bad happens. And for every single bad thing that happens, something good happens. You cannot appreciate what's good if you don't know what's bad. If everything was constant, how boring would that be? It's everything the same. I wake up every day and, I don't feel like anything. But if you know that you had a shitty life and you were poor and you were eating a sandwich and then you go to driving a nice car and being successful and doing this, then you know the difference and then you appreciate it better, And when you have that appreciation, I think, and I believe strongly, more comes to you because you're being grateful. It's just like a father and a son, right? You give your son a gift, and he's very grateful. And he's, thank you so much, thank you for what you're giving me. What do you want to do? You want to buy more stuff, right? If you give something to someone and they're not grateful, forget about it. I'm not going to give you anything, right? So what I do every morning is, after you go and check the website that I gave you, and you find something that you kind of connect with, because everybody has different personalities, and some things are going to seem a little quirky for you, and other ones not, but you just find, again, what you feel that connects with you. And what I do every morning is, I wake up, and I do a breathing exercise, okay? And at the beginning, I don't think I told my family what it was, and I think at the time, people thought I was just doing something weird, jumping in the floor. My dad was staying with me, I remember, at the time, and he thought I was cleaning the carpet. Because it goes really strong, okay? So you breathe, you sit down, and I think everybody needs time in the morning to yourself. And you need to coat and protect yourself of what you're going to go and be out there dealing with everything, okay? So you wake up in the morning, or I wake up in the morning, and I sit down in a place that is quiet. It's a little dark, and I put some meditation music that is very calming, and I do 3 times breathing, 50 times from my nose, very strong. So bring some napkins, because stuff is going to come out. And you breathe strong. You go really strong, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. And you do that about 3 times, 50 times at a time. And what is that going to do? First, it's going to clear your nose. Two, it's going to change your physiology, okay? And we are energy beings, okay? Everything that we do, everything I think in this world is energy, okay? And when you change your physiology from waking up and being like really slow and just walking, and you do that breathing, first of all, after you finish doing that breathing exercise, you're gonna be kind of sweating a little bit. And that means that all your cells are awake, your blood's pumping a little stronger, now you're awake, now you are like in a different mode, okay? And then when you do that, I sit down and I start doing deep breathing and just calming down that stress a little bit and think about all the things that I'm grateful for, okay? First, I wake up, okay, I'm awake. That's a big deal. 2, I feel healthy, okay? I have eyes, okay, I'm good. This is a lot, okay? And then I start thinking about what do I have, okay? Whether they're sleeping or they're awake, I have, I'm married to my love of my life, okay? The dream person that I ever thought. I have 2 amazing children. They're to die for. I have my parents are alive, my sister, I have friends, I work in a company that is a family, I have incredible things, and you just can go down the list a million things, more, and you'll start realizing that you are more lucky than what you really think you are. After you do that, which will take you about 5 minutes, then you start thinking the things that you want, okay? And then you start visualizing where are you going to be. I don't know. I like to say I put a goal for myself, and I put when I turn 50. I'm 36 right now, so I visualize myself where I'm going to be when I'm 50. Okay. I happen to see a lot of cool houses, right? So I have some favorite houses that I would like to own. So I picture myself, and I do this in open houses all the time too. It's a great exercise to kill the time. Okay. You sit and you close your eyes and you picture yourself sitting in that dining room looking at the view. If you've been in that house, it helps because you know kind of where the view is, right? There's the ocean, the coastline, there's yard, there's a pool. What does that feel? And then to make it more interesting, you start adding people into the chairs on the table that you're sitting. Who's going to be to my right? Who's going to be to my left? Who are my buddies? They're going to be here. Are my family? What are you going to be drinking? Maybe some Dom Perignon, rosé, in a tall bottle. We're going to be eating this, what kind of music. So you make it as real as possible, and you just get into that, okay? And it takes a little bit at first, but once you get used to it's like going in this really comfortable zone really quick. Once you get used to, you just do that, and you're just happy, You're going to find yourself sometimes, or I find myself sometimes, that while I'm doing that, I'm smiling. Why am I smiling? Because your brain doesn't know the difference whether you're actually there or not. And the more you do that, the universe is just going to correspond and introduce you to the right person. You're going to get the right call. You're going to be in the right place at the right time. And because you heard that luck, the definition of luck is opportunity meets preparation, you want to be prepared. Because if you're going to be doing this and you want to be exposed to those appointments, to those individuals, they're going to help you with that. You want to be prepared. You don't want to get to the opportunity because you're so good at visualizing and you're there, and then the opportunity comes and you don't know something and you lost it, okay? So it's important, both things. I'm not telling you to go and sit on the couch and think about how beautiful your life is going to be when you're 50 and then just go and watch TV and wait until it happens, right? You got to work hard, you really, really, really got to work hard, There's 2 things. One is having gifts, okay? Some people are born like Michael Jordan and just have a gift to play basketball, and they're amazing. But then there's a skill, and you can develop that. If you're not as gifted as someone else, but you work really hard, and you learn, and you practice, that will take you farther. I see so many people, they're so talented that they do nothing about it. They don't use it. It goes to waste. It's very sad. So you need to take action, okay? Take action. Just do it. Set a goal, do it. Excuse me one second. I have a couple notes that I want to make sure that I cover everything I wanted to tell you today. So I'm going to check here real quick. All right. So a few things I want to touch. First of all is, now that we're talking about that, actually focus, you know? You got to be focused. You cannot afford to go out there to the world, go in the day, not knowing what you want to do. You got to have a very, very strong goal, know where you're going to get, and within that goal, there are smaller goals that will get you to that goal, right? So you have your goal for the year that I want to make X amount of money, or I want to sell X amount of millions. What are you going to do to get there? Okay, so every 6 months, I'm going to check myself, and I'm going to be doing these things. And every 3 months, I'm going to be doing this. Every month, I'm going to do this. Every week, every day. What are you going to do every day? And one of the things that people make a mistake is they confuse with what I have to do with what I must do. And when you say, I have to do this, 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 and this, you won't do it. Very few people actually end up doing that. But when it's a must, then you have an emotion that is engaged with that. It must happen. I need to happen. And you need to schedule it, because if you don't put it in your calendar, whether it's getting a haircut or going and knocking 50 doors, it's not going to happen. It's not real until you schedule it and you wake up that day and you know that at 11 o'clock you need to do that. And someone calls you and says, hey, let's go and play basketball at 11 o'clock. You know, I can't. I need to get my hair done, right? So it's important that you schedule everything you do. One of the other things that has helped me a lot, while I'll do the meditation, I do the visualization, and I'm already, I started with the gratitude. I go into what I want to be. And then after I think about that, and this takes anywhere between 10 minutes and 15 minutes, depending how long. I mean, the longer the better, but you know, there's not a lot of time to sit down there and visualize for all day. Then what I usually do is I jump really hard and I clap and I say, today is going to be a great day. And I hear my kids sometimes saying, oh, daddy's up, right? The whole house shakes. And I put some sort of music. Music, I find that is an unbelievable tool to change your mood, okay? Songs that you like, songs that inspire you, things that you hear and just get you excited. You need to use that. Those are tools. If you go into a listening appointment and you feel a little off, crank some song that pumps you up. And then when you walk in that door and you meet that person, they're just going to feel that way, okay? There's going to be a difference between the two people that walk in that door, and when you walk in the door, they're going to feel it. You already won 50% because they feel that they want to hang out with you. They feel you're cool. They feel like, I don't know about this guy, but it's something cool.
Well, tried something, didn't work.
It's okay.
There you go.
Who's that guy?
Great technical. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay. So, balance. How important is balance? You cannot go on and on and on and on and on and on and don't take time for yourself. There's many times that I'm going in a day and I get phone calls from a very, very difficult escrow that I'm dealing with people that they're just draining my energy. And really there is nothing else I can do, but for some reason this person keeps calling me thinking that I'm going to have some sort of magic to fix the problem, okay? And we know how it's going to get fixed. It's just going to take a week to get fixed, whether it's a sewer that broke, whatever. And there are people, they just call you, and there's times where I just can't take it anymore. So I turn off my phone, and I go to the movie theater, and I watch a movie for 2 hours. And by the time I come out, somehow, it seems like things got solved, okay? Now, they might not be solved, But what you're doing is you're giving yourself a break, okay? You can't operate 100% when you've been harassed and you're stressed out and you have this client that's just on top of you. You won't be able, and it's going to get to a point where you're going to say something that you shouldn't say. He's going to get to a point where he's going to touch that button that is going to make you say something that you shouldn't say. So to avoid that, do something. Go on a run on the beach. That's something that I like to do sometimes too. I think you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your body. You need to exercise. You need to eat healthy. You need to have, in my case, I have a beautiful family, so a great relationship with them and spend time with them. And all those things combined really make me who I am. I cannot be me, and I cannot operate as Santiago 100% when I wake up in the morning if something is wrong in the house. If I haven't done the things that I need to do, if I haven't done my ritual, if I didn't eat a good, healthy breakfast, if I haven't exercised, I can't. It's just me. I don't know if it's something that got stuck in my head, but I think that you have to have balance. And
let me jump in on that.
yeah.
So how many of you came here to learn how to sell $500 million in property and thought it would be about a morning ritual, eating well, exercising? How many of you had that thought? Come on, let's be honest. What I love in working with Santiago, it's been about a year now, right? Mm-hmm. I think in a year we may have had maybe three conversations about real estate. That's not what we talk about in our coaching sessions. We talk about what he wants in his life. And being up here today is part of what he wants in his life. He wants to help people. That's his passion, giving back. And so I wanted to bring Santiago up because his message is super important. Most of you are focused on the wrong thing. Do I put my picture on my business card? I swear, one day I will answer that question. I'm not ready to yet. 500 million, and it's about getting up early, breathing, getting still, thinking about what he wants, visualize. Has anyone ever been to Santiago's office in Brentwood? Great corner office, incredible views, and I love sitting there because in that office, it just feels like you own the world. If he wants to think big, all you have to do is look out the window, correct?
And I did visualize that office, by the way. In that same spot, up, and it happens.
So questions for Santiago in terms of his thought process, his mindset, thinking big. Anyone?
What time does he get up?
What day of the week are we talking about? Now, what time do you get up?
If I'm not sick and I'm like in my normal routine, which I change sometimes, if I'm going to the gym in the morning, I wake up at 5:30. And I try to be by 6 at the gym. And by the time I come back, my wife's making breakfast with the kids, so I get to hang out with them and have breakfast and spend some time together.
What time do you typically, do you go to the office every day?
Not every day, but I try to go as much as possible.
And if you're going to go to the office, what time are you going to get in?
It varies. Sometimes I don't make it until 5 p.m., and sometimes I'm there at 8. It's just tough.
Different ways.
Yes.
Other questions?
Over there.
Where? Okay.
So how do you overcome your limiting beliefs?
Good question. How do you, because I've come in sometimes and your head is not on straight. What do you do to get your head back on straight?
Yes. One of the things that really piss me off is being afraid of something. Is that fear of, I'm not going to make it. Or that fear of, what if? And we all go through that. Humans, by nature, we are addicted people. We're addicted to sugar. We're addicted to a lot of things. And one of the things that we're addicted to is fear. We find a way how to bam ourselves down. Always. There's always a way how to, oh, shit, that sucks. You know, there's a way always how to bam down yourself. So, and it happens to me all the time. And I'm the kind of guy that likes to take action and fix it. I want to fix everything right now. Not next week, right now. And I'm working on it. But I hate being fearful of something.
So how do you turn it around when you catch yourself and getting in that space? And we've had those sessions.
Yes, and that's one of the things that, just to finish with what I wanted to tell you today and what I want to share with you is, I've been walking around and I keep hearing agents from the agency, from other companies, they all are like the bubble. Oh, the market's already been up for 6 years. We're going down. At any moment, it's going to happen something. Oh, my God, the market's going to go down. And all I can hear is like how bad it is and the economy. And do you see New York's not selling and this and that and da-da-da-da-da. And sometimes I'm like, oh, shit, yes. And I start getting into that boat, you know. And then I get to a point where it's like, fuck that, you know. It's like, I can wait until there's another recession. I built my business in 2009, okay? And so what can you do? Can you fix the economy of the world? No. Try. I don't think you're going to be able. Can you change what's going to happen with the market? Can you change what's going to happen with the rates? None of that you can change. Why are you wasting your time talking about things that you cannot do anything about it? Okay? So how do I overcome that is I know about it, but I choose not to be inundated by it. And I try not to talk about it. And I focus more and I work harder. So about 2 weeks ago, I see that things are slow. I decided to do what I used to do back in the day. I'm going to do open houses now Saturday and Sunday, not just Sunday. I'm going to have everything open, and I'm going to work harder. I'm just going to put my head down, and I'm going to work. I'm going to fix the things that I can fix. I can fix my business. I can lose a few pounds. I can gain a few pounds. Or whatever it is that you need to do, just keep busy. Do something, because there are things that you're not going to be able to change. What you can change is you from inside, and then, therefore, things are going to happen for you. Doesn't matter what's going on around.
This morning, I was coaching Jay Robertson, stand up. Hey, Jay, give him a round of applause. So, Jay asked me this morning, how do you get in this space of not being attached to the outcome? And I share with you, there's only two things you control in life: your words and your actions. That's it. Your words and your actions. You can't control the results. You've got to be fully engaged in the process, not attached to the outcome. And that's what you're sharing right now.
Yep.
You've got to change it. Nothing's going to, you know, the world's not going to change for you. In the slide, you saw it. You know, are you driving change, or is change driving you? Which is it? Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, Steve.
Other questions for Santiago? In the back.
2 questions.
Hold on.
First question.
All right,
Who's
guess.
your biggest role model? And second,
Say, hold on, say it again.
first question, who's your biggest role model?
All right, one question at a time.
All right.
Biggest role model?
Oh, my God. I mean, I have a lot of them. I'll mention a few. Tony Robbins, I think he's an amazing human being. If you haven't been in one of his seminars, I mean, I think that everybody should go there at least once. You do a disservice to yourself if you don't make it. It's an unbelievable experience. I admire people like Henry Ford. I admire people like, you know, everything that I study, you know, Thomas Edison, all those guys that they had a dream that was so impossible that people thought that was ridiculous. But thank God they were unreasonable and they decided to do it, because if not, we wouldn't have light right now, right? So yeah, those are a few. I mean, I have a lot of them. I don't have one role model that I follow, but it's a group of individuals.
Part two?
Yeah, part 2. There's so many real estate agents out there, and they all have different types of skill sets. What would you classify as the most important valued skill set that a successful real estate agent should have?
Okay, so
Oh, hold on.
yes.
So, let me hear the question again.
So, there's so many real estate agents out here. I'm sure like 90% of the people in this room are real estate agents. But my
So do you want to know what his skills are, or do you want to know what?
In general? He wants to know in general. I got it.
Okay.
So I always say, and this is a joke that I crack, that more people in California have real estate license than driver license. Okay? Yes, but do you know how many houses are out there? Okay, there is more than enough for every person that has a real estate license to make a good living. For sure, hands down. As of what the most important skill, I think that's all of you guys' job to find out what you're good at. Are you good talking to people? When I started the business, I wanted to be in front of people. I wanted to have a face-to-face, so I door knocked a lot. If I would have gone cold calling, they'd probably be like, Santiago, who, what? And hang up the phone, right? Because I still have a strong accent, but in the beginning I was really not good making phone calls. So I think you need to look inside and be like, what I'm good at. It's got to be something that you're good, that you can apply it for your career. Does that make sense?
I'll answer the question. Consistency. That is the skill that's more rewarded in this business than anything else. You have to be consistent with whatever you do. However you want to generate business, and there's many different ways you can do it. There's no one way, there's no right way, there's no wrong way. Consistency is critical. One more question for Santiago.
Okay, so we all want to be consistent and we all want to stay focused on our plan. What do you do when you get disrupted or something happens in your day that you need to deal with that's not in your plan?
So, how do you stay on track? You get off track like everybody else, right? Opportunities everywhere, so is distraction. What do you do to try and keep that focus, keep that consistency? You talked about your morning ritual every day. That's a way of building consistency. Any other thoughts?
It starts that way. In the morning, you need to prime yourself. You need to prime yourself in a sense that when you go out there and some shit happens, you're not going to be affected. And if it happens that you're affected, that's why you schedule. You know what you need to do that day, and not because something bad happened, you're going to stop doing the other things that you haven't done yet. And the faster that you have the ability to drop that and don't get emotionally engaged with that one person and just go to the next one, I think that's the best way to do it. Because you cannot finish a call with a guy that you're having issues and get in a call or go to a listing appointment in that mood. You're not going to get it. So you need to snap out of it. And you need to learn how to just drop it. And the moment your mind starts going there, you say, don't go there, next. And what's next? And what's next? And I'll talk about that later.
Does that answer your question? Santiago?
Thank you. Thank you, guys.